So what's good, guys? It's your boy Noah the Beast, back here again on YouTube, and today, guys, welcome back to another Tier List Tuesday video. And in this Tier List Tuesday video, I am going to be ranking NFL teams based on how many games I think they will win this season in 2025. As you guys know, as I'm going and recording this video, it is currently September 2nd, 2025, and the NFL season starts on September 4th, which is in 2 days. And so, guys, I'm going to be dropping back-to-back football videos for today, guys, just because I'm so hyped for football season, and I've been waiting so long for it to come back, ever since my Philadelphia Eagles won that Super Bowl back in February. Alright, guys, so let's get straight into this video. If you guys haven't done already, make sure that you guys smash that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and share this video with somebody you know. And let me know in the comments what your favorite team in the NFL is. Alright, so let's get straight into this video. Alright, starting off with the Arizona Cardinals. Listen, I think the Cardinals, they're a mediocre team at best. I mean, obviously they still have Kyler Murray, who's literally 4'1". That dude can't even see over his offensive line. I mean, they do have solid weapons. I mean, I like Marvin Harrison Jr. He had a pretty underwhelming first season, but I think in his second season, I think he should be better. Also, they have one of the best tight ends in football, and Trey McBride as well. I mean, this team is mediocre as hell, bro. Like, I think they'll maybe finish with 9 wins. I mean, maybe with 8 wins at best. All right, guys, the next team we got here, guys, is we got the Atlanta Falcons. I think this team is gonna be nice, bro. They could low-key win their division. I mean, they're super young. You know, they're very intriguing. I think they have a lot of talent, especially on offense. I mean, they have one of the best running backs in the NFL in Bijan Robinson. They have Michael Penix going into his first year starting. We'll see how he does. I mean, he looked really good last year in those few games that he started in the last games of last year. But I think Atlanta is a pretty solid team, bro. I think they're gonna have a great season. So I'm gonna put Atlanta. I'm going to put them right here next to the Cardinals. I think they'll maybe win 9 just because I still think Tampa's a better team than them. But I think Atlanta is still a really good team. I think they should be should be able to sneak into a wild card spot. All right. Up next, guys, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Listen, I think this team is the best team in the AFC almost every single year, but they can just never get it done in the playoffs. They just can't get it done. I mean, they have so much talent, but they just can't get it done in the playoffs. Listen, I think the Ravens are still a top 3, top 5 team in the NFL. They obviously have both Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson playing, but why is this ad open? I do not want to see that. All right. Okay, my computer's running low. I better charge it. But anyways, with the Ravens, I'm gonna put them in the 13 to 17 tier. I think they're still one of the best teams in the entire NFL. I still think that they are a Super Bowl caliber team, and they should be able to win at least 13 to 14 games this season. All right, up next, guys, we have the Buffalo Bills. Same thing with them. I think as long as they have Josh Allen, I think they're always going to be a great team. I mean, they have a very underrated defense. They have, you know, one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Josh Allen. They have a solid wide receiving core. I think as long as they have Josh, they should be able to win 13 games, bro. Definitely. And they should be able to go back to the AFC Championship and possibly the Super Bowl. All right, guys. Up next, guys, we have the Carolina Panthers. I think that this team is going to be better than they were in years past. I still think that they might struggle early, but I still think that they're going to have a better season than they did in years past. So I'm going to put them right here next to the Falcons. I think maybe they'll get 7 wins at best. I think 7 sounds pretty good for them. All right, up next, guys, we have the Bears. Same thing with them. I think 9 to 7 sounds pretty reasonable for them. I think they're going to be a mediocre team at best. I mean, I know I like the Ben Johnson hire. I know their offense is stacked, but come on. The Bears are the Bears. They get hyped up every single year, and then they just go and disappoint. So that's why I have the Bears at that 9-7 range. Up next, guys, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. Listen, I think this team has the potential to be a Super Bowl team as long as they at least have a decent defense. But they have the pieces on offense, but they just don't have that. They just don't have the defense, because they were losing in all these one-possession games last year just because of their defense selling. But I think they have the talent to be a 10-win team this year. I think they should be able to sneak in as a wild card team. So I'm going to put the Bengals in that 10-12 range. I think that as long as they have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they should finish with the winning record, and I think they can sneak in as a wild card team. All right. Up next, guys, we have the Cleveland Browns. I think their defense is pretty solid, but I just don't know. I just don't think they have the talent on offense to really compete. And plus, I think the Browns are the Browns. I do feel bad for their fans that they have to go through all this torture, but I just think the Browns are poverty, bro. I mean, bro, they literally have they signed 5 quarterbacks this offseason. And I think now, since it's after the preseason and after training camp, they only have 3 now. But there was no reason to sign, 5 quarterbacks in the offseason. That is ridiculous. But, and they also drafted 2 of them as well. They drafted, it's Shador Sanders and also Dylan Gabriel. But, I'm going to put the Browns, I think they'll get 4 wins. I think I'm going to put them in the 6-4 range. I still think they have a solid defense, but their offense, I think, is really going to hold them back. All right, up next, guys, we have the Dallas Cowgirls. Listen, this team is absolutely poverty. I mean, why would you trade Micah Parsons for freaking Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks? Why would you do that? I mean, I get it, Micah Parsons wanted to trade, but you should have paid the man, bro. Pay the man his money, bro. But this team is absolutely poverty, bro. I can literally roast the Cowboys all day. Obviously, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I think we're going to destroy this Dallas Cowboys team. But I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, getting rid of Micah is literally going to hold them back for the next 20 or 30 years. Obviously, they have Dak Prescott coming back, but obviously Dak Prescott's washed now. Obviously he's trash in the playoffs. We all know that. Dallas is just Dallas, bro. I believe low-key, bro, Dallas might only win 3 games, bro. I'm just saying that, dog. They've had such a horrible offseason, and plus Jerry Jones is such an embarrassment to the NFL. He's the worst owner in sports. And, obviously they're more focused on their drama and on their contracts rather than the actual game of football. So that's why I only think they're going to win 1 to 3 games, bro, because they're absolutely trash. All right, up next, guys, we have the Denver Broncos. I think this team's going to get 10 to 12 wins. I think that Bo Nix is a certified franchise quarterback. They have one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think they got a lot better this offseason, so I'm going to put them right in that 10 to 12 range. Up next, guys, we have the Detroit Lions. 13 wins. I think they're still a Super Bowl contender. I know they lost both of their coordinators. I know they lost Ben Johnson and also their other coordinator as well, but I still think this team is loaded. I still think they have one of the best offenses in the league. They obviously have the best running back duo in the NFL in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. They have a solid quarterback in Jared Goff. I know Jared Goff was horrible in the playoffs last year, and I know he can be inconsistent at times, but I still think Jared Goff is a solid-ass quarterback, bro. I still think he is at least a top 10, top 15 QB in the league. I like Jared Goff. He's still very solid. But I still think that the Lions are definitely a Super Bowl contender this year, for sure. All right, up next, guys, we have the Green Bay Packers. I think that this team could win their division, but Jordan Love can be very inconsistent at times, because when Jordan Love is on his game, he plays like a top 15 quarterback. But when he's off his game, bro, this guy plays like freaking Daniel Jones. But I do like the Micah Parsons trade. That's going to take their defense to the next level. I don't even know why Dallas let Micah Parsons go to a team that goes and literally owns them. But I think the Packers should be able to get 12 wins this year. I still don't think, even with the addition of Micah Parsons, I still don't think they're better than the Lions. So I'm going to put them in that 10 to 12 range. I still think that they're going to have a pretty solid season. Up next, guys, we have the Houston Texans, 10 wins. I mean, what did they do this offseason? It's basically almost the same exact team. I mean, they didn't really do anything to address their offensive line. I think CJ Stroud is going to play a little bit better than he did last year, but I still think the Texans are just going to be the same team. I think they're going to get 10 wins once again. All right, up next, guys, we have the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Colts are going to be one of the worst teams this year. I'm not a huge believer in them, but I think they'll win. I'm going to put them in that 6-4 range, bro. I think they'll win 4 games this year. That is its opinion on the Colts. I think that they are still one of the worst teams in the NFL. They have 2 of the worst quarterbacks in Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Obviously, they're starting Daniel Jones because Anthony Richardson's hurt. But they're going to have to rely on Jonathan Taylor. It's a lot this season if they want to even stand a chance. But, obviously the Colts are just poverty, bro. All right, up next we have the Jags. I think they'll get 8. I'm going to put them right next to the Bears. It all depends on how Trevor Lawrence plays. I love the fact that they traded up to the second overall pick this year in the draft and got Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter is going to be an absolute stud, but it all depends on how Trevor Lawrence plays, because Trevor Lawrence is going to have so many weapons. I mean, he's going to have ETN, he's going to have Bigsby, he's going to have Brian Thomas, he's going to have Travis Hunter. It's the Jags have built a solid team around Trevor Lawrence. It all depends on how Trevor plays. All right. But up next, guys, we have the team that my Philadelphia Eagles absolutely destroyed in the Super Bowl. I still think the Chiefs are still going to be the Chiefs. I still think they're going to have a winning record, but they're not going to be nearly as good as they were in years past. It's just because my Eagles exposed them. And plus, to be honest, the Chiefs didn't really do anything this year to really improve their team. I mean, they did draft an offensive lineman in the first round of the draft, which wasn't really that impressive. But, they still have Mahomes. They still have Travis Kelce. I mean, obviously, Travis Kelce's not the same player he used to be. He's heading into his last year in the NFL. But, I just don't think the Chiefs are going to be as good. And plus, I don't really think that Mahomes. I think Mahomes is starting to slow down a little bit. I mean, I still think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but he's starting to slow down quite a bit. But I'm going to put the Chiefs in that 10 to 12 range. I think they'll maybe get 10 wins, 12 wins max. That's what I think about the Chiefs. All right, up next, guys, we have the Chargers. This team is on the come up. I love Jim Harbaugh. He's one of the best head coaches in the league, and that's the reason why that the Chargers are starting to become a good team again. And also, plus, I still think Justin Herbert's a great quarterback. I know he plays horribly in the playoffs, but, if you're the Chargers, man, you got to win at least one playoff game this year. If Justin Herbert doesn't win a playoff game this year, then they're probably, I don't know what they're going to do if Justin Herbert can't win a playoff game. But I still think this team is solid. I think they should be able to get in that 10 to 12 range. Obviously, last year they finished 11-6, and their team wasn't nearly as good as it is now. But I think this team should be able to get 10 to 12 wins. I think they'll be right around that range. All right, up next, guys, we have the LA Rams. I think that this team is going to be great. Again, I think they're going to be in that 10 to 12 range. I know I've been putting almost every single team in the 10 to 12 range, but I like the Rams. I mean, their offense is going to be electric. I mean, obviously they have Matthew Stafford. I know he's getting up there in age, but he could still play at a high level. He's still like a top 10 quarterback in the league. They obviously have Puka Nacua, who's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. Puka Nacua is a baller. He's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. I don't care if anyone says. Puka Nacua is a baller. Give him his respect. And also, they also got this Devontae Adams as well. I know he's getting up there in age, but I mean, he could still play at a high level as well. But I am gonna put the Rams once again in that 10 to 12 range. What is going on with my computer? Why can't I move? Okay, there we go. All right, I put them in the 10 to 12 range. Next, guys, we have the Dolphins. I'm not really a big believer in the Dolphins. Obviously, I still think they're a mediocre team at best. They have a horrible defense, but I think they have some pieces on their offense. They still have Tyreek Hill, who's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL when he's healthy and when he's on his game. They have Tua, who's a solid quarterback when healthy as well. But I'm gonna put the Dolphins in that 9 to 7 range. I'm not a big believer in them. Up next, guys, we have the Raiders. I think the Raiders will get 6 wins. Their only good weapons are basically Ashton Jency and Brock Bowers. I mean, their defense is still good. I mean, I like Max Crosby, but I'm just not a believer, bro. I just still think the Raiders are just suck. All right, up next, guys, we have the Minnesota Vikings. I think they'll be solid this year. I think they'll be in that 9 to 7 range. I think they'll finish 3rd or 4th in their division. I don't think they're going to be nearly as good as they were last year, but I still think the Vikings are a solid team. It depends on how JJ McCarthy plays, because I think JJ is going to struggle early, but I think the Vikings will possibly get hot towards the end of the season and possibly make a playoff push. But I'm not a believer in the Minnesota Vikings. Next, guys, we have the Patriots. I think the Patriots might actually be pretty good this year because they had a really good offseason. So I'm gonna put them at possibly 8 wins. Like I said in my last video, I think that Drake May is gonna take that next step and become a really good franchise quarterback. All right. Up next, guys, we have the Saints. I think they're gonna be the worst team in the league. So I'm gonna put them in this 1 to 3 range, right next to the Cowboys. I am not big believer in the Saints at all. Like, I think they have one of the worst rosters in the entire league. But anyways, on to the Giants. I think 6 to 4 sounds pretty reasonable for the Giants. Nothing else said. That's what I think about the Giants. Up next, we have the Jets. I think I'll put them right next to the Giants and the Raiders. I think they will finish around that 6 to 4 range as well. Up next, guys, we have the defending Super Bowl champions, my Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, you gotta put them in the 13 to 17 range. They are the defending Super Bowl champions for a reason. And I think, low-key, they can repeat. They have the team to do it, man. This team is so amazing, so disciplined. I love Jalen Hurts. I love Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Words cannot express how much I love this football team. I think they will repeat. I think they are still the best team in all of football, hands down, not even a discussion. They are a 13-win team, definitely. I don't think they'll go undefeated. I think they might finish 14-3 again, or possibly 13-4, but I like the Birds this year, bro. They are still the best team in football. They are the defending Super Bowl champs for a reason. All right, up next, guys, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, 7. I think Pittsburgh will get 7. As long as they have Mike Tomlin as their head coach, they're going to finish middle of the pack almost every single year. And plus, they really have no youth, so that's why I think they're just going to be average. Up next, guys, we have the Seattle Seahawks. I think 7 or 8 maybe for the Seahawks. Okay, I don't know why my computer's lagging, but whatever. Up next, guys, we have the San Francisco 49ers. I think this team can finish with 10. I mean, they still have some solid pieces, especially on their offense. They have CMC, George Kittle, Brock Purdy. They still have Brendan Ayuk, who's still a pretty solid wide receiver. I don't even think he's going to play, but they still have Jennings. They also have They also have Ricky Pearsall, who's still pretty good. I mean, you know, he's heading into what, like year 2, year 3, but he can still play good. I know their offense is gonna take a hit, especially with going and losing Tebow Samuel in the offseason, but I still think San Francisco can still be a pretty solid playoff team. All right, up next, guys, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think 10-12. 10-12 for the Bucks. And then we have the Titans, I think 1-3. I mean, I'm not really a believer in Cam Ward. I still, maybe he could be a solid quarterback, but, you know, Tennessee's, I think, is still one of the worst teams in the league. Up next, guys, last but not least, we have the Washington Commanders. I think this team is going to be 10-12. I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to play as well as he did last year in his rookie season, but I still think this team is going to be great. I still think that they are definitely a playoff contender. I think they can give my Birds some problems, but I think they're going to be in that 10-12 range. They're nowhere near as good as my Eagles, and they're nowhere near as good as these teams on the top, but I'm going to put them right in that 10-12 range if my computer can stop lagging. All right, my computer stopped lagging. All right, guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed this Tier List Tuesday. If you guys did, make sure that you guys smash that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and share this video with somebody that you know. And let me know in the comment section what kind of videos you guys want to see next. But anyways, guys, it's your boy Noah the Beast. I'm out. You guys have a great day, and God bless you. And also, go Birds, baby. Let's go. I will see you guys next time.